Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel Chai. Am Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel Chai. Hayom Davinu Chai, Hayom Davinu Chai, Hayom Davinu, Davinu, Davinu Chai. Hayom Israel Chai, Hayom Israel Chai, Hayom Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel Chai.
Welcome to the virtual Challah Bake.
Reporting live from the Chabad-Jewish Learning Institute in Winnipeg, Canada. This is our first online challah baking event, bringing mothers, children, and the community at large together during this isolating time. I'm Rebecca Sprins. By day, I'm an acupuncturist and clinic owner. By night, or evenings and weekends, I'm a devoted wife and mother to two really adorable children. Let me introduce my other co-hosts. This is Monica and Adina. Hey, everyone. Woo! Monica Chachanov, too, is a devoted wife and mother. On her spare time, she teaches theater to high school students with passion. And what brings her a lot of strength is the beauty and authenticity of the women within our Jewish community. Now, Adina Altine, this woman needs no introduction, but it's my job to introduce her anyways. My goodness. Adina Altine is a co-director alongside her husband of the Chabad-Jewish Learning Institute in Winnipeg. She has planned successfully the last two challah baking events and has been working tirelessly on rearranging this year's events to still bring it into your kitchens. So, we are going to bring this whole thing together, bring some positivity, joy, and some delicious challahs to your kitchen. Would you like to explain what we're going to do?
I would love to. So we are going to have a hands-on tutorial to make the dough and to braid the challah today. And we are you have some beautiful packages and kits at home. that our volunteers have tirelessly and beautifully put together for you.
Monica, you should have seen that. There was quite the operation here. You see, we had this entire room set up. We had it completely prepared and done already for the Fort Garry. And then at the last minute, we called all the volunteers back, of course, with the right standards, so only a few at a time. We spread around this room, and we had them repack everything so that all the Winnipeg beautiful, amazing people can pick up their bags. And all of you out there as well will tell you what you need so you can join this great event as well.
Perfect. And we also have an interactive trivia game today, a bat mitzvah interview, and of course, interesting, amazing conversation with us lovely ladies. Lucky you guys.
Sort of the best part. Speaking about conversation, I'm going to interrupt for one more thing. There's someone else who is not presently here, but I would really want to welcome her as well. This is Julie Pfeffer. She is going to be our virtual assistant connecting you with us. So what you're going to be able to do is ask questions online, and she or we are going to address them accordingly so we can all be connected. A little bit about Julie is she by day is a dentist, and by night is also a wife and a mother to 2 little ones. She wanted to give me a little information to share with you all, so she loves enjoying braiding 5-stranded challahs and long walks on the beach. And the last thing that I am going to is welcome you all the women and children in our community allowing this challah extravaganza to occur. So welcome.
All right, so I just got a message again that some people are still having a hard time finding the link. So if you guys could just pause for a moment and reach out to your friends, make sure they're connected. We are being streamed on the Chabad YouTube page. So it's just www, do we do that still these days?
It's assumed.
Chabad-Winnipeg.org
//
Challah Bake, or you can head on to the Facebook page of Chabad.org, where our broadcast is actually being broadcasted globally and live. So take a moment to just make sure that your friends in the next door house that are locked in have the right code so that they can join us as well.
Especially assuming if they can't log on, they don't even know what this link is. And the ones who do know the link have the link. So share this link so everyone can be connected.
That's right.
Okay. But for those of you who were organized and did have the link, we're going to continue and figure out what's in these bags.
Right. So we have prepared for you this evening this beautiful mega challah bake bag. And as we mentioned a few minutes ago, this was supposed to take place in the Fort Garry Hotel. Due to technical difficulties, we have moved it to the Jewish Learning Center. And so if you don't have these ingredients, we'll walk you through what you need so that you can be perfectly ready. So you see, this evening we're dedicating to challah. And as I'm going to go through this, I just want you to take a moment to kind of restructure and figure out, why are we making these mega challah bakes? What are they all about, and why is it so important? Okay. So traditionally, women are the keepers of their homes. And challah is one of the 3 mitzvot, the 3 commandments that was given as a gift to the Jewish women. And that doesn't mean you have to make challah every week, but it does mean that we have this special, special time where we can tap into another dimension while we're making the dough. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. I've been searching actually for a source to all the different ingredients and their meanings, and I haven't found an actual source. I have looked up a ton of creative ideas of why we actually use these ingredients and what meaning it can have for all of us as the foundation of our homes, as that karata bayit to use. I'm gonna go through this now. The first thing that you'll need is, this bag I see was already slightly opened. So there is one bag that has all the dry ingredients. So we'll start with that first. The dry ingredients, you'll see the black, beautiful container. This has your own apron. Now, if you're in your pajamas at home, forget the apron. If you want it, you could use it. Then we have this flour. This is 3 cups of flour. Now, for those of you who are like, what do I do? Listen closely, because I'm going to go through the ingredients right now. For those of you that have the brochure, it's written on here. So we've got the 3 cups of flour.
Ta-da!
All right. Now, my sister told me, this was her creativity, that more than just kind of like the meaning behind all of these ingredients, when we take the moment tonight to gather all of us together and to make this challah, there's actually particular blessings that we can make for each ingredient. So we got this flour. I know that we're standing in a time where there is so much financial uncertainty, and flour actually represents our sustenance. And so as we're making this challah, it's a chance where we can pour all of that anxious anxiety into our dough. We'll knead it all out, and we can pray for each other, and we can try our best to tap into that trust, because hey, it's out of our hands anyways. But we can try to realign and refocus that our sustenance is being held and provided by a higher being. So we got that flour. Then we have the sugar. We're going to be using 3 tablespoons of sugar. If you like your challah a little sweet, you could put in a little extra. Many people use honey instead of a sugar. And of course, this is something so important for us these days. This sugar is the love and the kindness. And I think I should just pour this over our heads. Could I?
No.
Because over the next couple weeks, I think we're going to need a lot of extra love for everything that's going on. So we got this delicious sugar, 3 tablespoons.
I'll take that.
And we're going to see later, we're going to be mixing the sugar with this yeast. Now this yeast is the power. This is what helps the entire challah grow. And we're going to talk later a little bit more about the growing of the challah. But the concept that we can pray for with this is we've got our sustenance, we got our love. And with this, we want to be able to get into a growth mindset, to be able to recognize that whatever we're going through, we got it, girls. We got the power inside, and we can continue to grow, because obviously God believes in us if he puts us in these kind of situations. I'm going to pass this on. We got a little bit of salt, and again, we'll go through how we're going to make it in just a few moments. Your next bag, you have your wet ingredients. So we have how much oil do you see here? 1/3 cup of oil. Now this recipe that we're making is actually a smaller recipe. You're going to be able to get 2 challahs from this recipe. So if you are with a big family and you want to go ahead and make some more, there is a more full, there's the full recipe on the bottom, which I'll just read to you briefly. That's 13 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of dry yeast, 4 cups of water, 1 cup of oil, 2 eggs, and 1.5 teaspoons salt. I'll continue going with our mini recipe so that those of you that have this can continue. So we got, again, our 3 cups of flour. Check?
Check.
Check. We got our 3 tablespoons of sugar.
Check. Check.
1 tablespoon of the dry yeast, or if you're using the packets, it's 2 packets of dry yeast. And then the next thing we have is warm water. So if you're at home, it would be great to use warm water. You do not want it to be boiling. You want it to be a bit warmer than room temperature. We did provide as well a water bottle, and we'll be using till the calorie line. So we're going to use 1 cup of water, which is just half of this bottle. So we're going to put this down over here. And what do we have next? An egg. I'm not going to show you that. You got your egg in this little container. So 1 egg for this recipe. And meanwhile, everyone who's getting onto the show, I'm here live with my dear friend Monica and, what's your name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. And I thought it was Julie, because Julie was supposed to be Suchi, but Suchi's stuck in Toronto because she was supposed to host this show. So now we have us. And we're beyond names.
Lucky.
We're just soul sisters connecting. So in this bag as well, you have some gloves if you like to use them. There's actually 2 pairs. And then you have all the baking tins that we're going to need to end this program. Now my last thing that you'll find in this beautiful bag is this gorgeous black and white striped bag. Now inside here, there are some munchies, and unfortunately, we only got 1 bag, ladies. So let's see. I think, you know what?
She's generous today.
I can share. In light of the times.
She's feeling generous.
I'm feeling generous. I think
Social pressure.
There's this gorgeous heart cookie.
I love cookies.
I'm going to keep this one. And then I have this beautiful candy, and I'm going to
keep that one. I'm seeing a trend.
Keep that one. And then my heart is just feeling like filled with love and warmth. I present to you, my dear.
Oh, vitamin C during the COVID-19. This is
and I actually have 2 extra candies,
precious.
so I'm going to pass one on to you. Can you catch?
Maybe.
Catch! This is a very good activity to try when you get home and you have some kids around. Take a bag, pull stuff out. They don't know what's inside. And hopefully it's something exciting. And of course, if you got refreshments in your own house, feel free to munch along as we enjoy this wonderful, wonderful evening.
All right, there's one thing that's a little bit unique in this situation is now that we're not at the Fort Garry, gloves aren't necessarily necessary as long as you practice really good hygiene, which is kind of the theme of the season right now. So if you choose to use your gloves, by all means. If you want to save this, since this might be liquid gold to the outside world, maybe save this for a rainy day, and this way you can really feel the challah as you're preparing it. Yeah. All right. Would you share a little bit more about the challah baking extravaganza that we've been experiencing?
Are you sure?
Only if you want.
How did this all come about, Adina? Like, where did the challah bake come from?
So, like as we were speaking before, for centuries, Jewish women have been baking challah. And they've been praying for their families, and they've been offering this connection through the dough that they made. Now, in present times, it's customary for many women to join together. And we know that the power of one versus the power of many, you can't compare. Like if you take one stick and you try to break it, you can easily break it. But if you put a whole bunch of thin sticks together and break it, it's almost impossible. I was going to bring some sticks, but I couldn't get to the store because the Costco line was too long, so I didn't have that. So the idea is right now, we were only supposed to be 400 women in the Fort Garry Hotel, connecting, uniting. And somehow we now have this miracle where we can literally be global with each and every one of you in your homes to be able to join together, to be able to pause our crazy life, to be able to refocus and recognize that Jewish women, we are given a gift. We have to take the time to stop, to show gratitude, to recenter, and we got lots of time now to do that.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like how it came to be. And so now we get to join with everybody else, and we're going to show them how to make the challah in their own house. And most importantly, of course, is that it's a really special mitzvah. And we know that every mitzvah that we do brings out our soul and allows us to connect to something higher. And so this is a special opportunity for us to, when all goes crazy and when the whole world seems, haywire, it's an even more important special time for us to be able to slow down and recognize we're not on our own. And we have that piece of God inside of us. And we can merge together this physical stuff, this dough, which is exactly what Judaism is about. Right? Like, it's so funny, I think. I'm always in the kitchen. You've seen my kitchen.
Big kitchen.
She came over Thursday night and she's like, do you do this every Thursday night? And, I was cooking. And it's very interesting because we're either eating for a holiday or eating for Shabbat, or we're fasting, or we're eating after fasting. And you would think for like this spiritual, connection to God, maybe we should separate from all physical things. But the truth is that precisely in the physicality, precisely in the simple things, that's where we can really uplift and connect. So this bread, which is so simple, this really represents this superpower that we have as women, that we can take the ordinary, we can infuse it with vitality and with spirituality, and that is the holiest way that we can use everything in our world to the fullest potential. So, this is what we got to remember. When we're home and when there's things that are going on that are crazy. It's not about us separating from the physical world. It's about us in each of our homes turning inward, turning to those diaper changing or baby crying or challah baking every week, and really trying to recognize that these are holy acts and we can do it with passion and love. I think I spoke long enough.
Well, that was the best explanation I ever got. All right, so I think we're ready to get started. Let's move to the kitchen. After you?
All right.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to get out my trusty apron now. Squeeze behind you.
Do you think we could do a little jig?
Right now?
Well, this event, the event was supposed to be challah to the beat because we had a entertainer who was going to come and do some dancing. So I think we should just do a little beat.
All right, let's
break it down.
Do.
And let's get braiding to the beat,
Okay,
turning into our virtual challah bake. Take it
I'll
away.
take it.
Okay, here we go. All right, so if you choose to, you can put your gloves on right now. I am going to put my gloves on and practice social distancing.
Can you see me in the camera? Can you see me from here?
And you're going to start by using your dry ingredients right now, except for the salt. So what I like to do is I put my 3 cups of flour inside the bowl. And then I like to make like a little well in there, like so. And then you're going to take your water You're going to put that into the well. Oh, up to the line, right?
Up to the calorie line.
Hang on, are we there? Calorie line, where are you,
Okay.
calorie line? Is that a cup? No.
Oh,
Up
I
to
need
there.
a little bit more.
Label.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, and I may slow you down because I'm just here. Send in your messages, send in your questions. We have our tech team and we've got Julie there answering you. And Julie, you can text my phone and I can bring up the questions here, and that would be great. So we can truly make this a united, interactive challah bake.
All right, so I hope everybody's got their flour and their water in the bowl. The next thing that you are going to do is you are going to take your yeast and you are going to put that into the water.
Whoa.
Like so.
This is when the magic happens.
This is when the magic happens. And then of course you want to take your sugar and you are going to add that to the yeast so that your yeast can get nice and bubbly.
You know, I just realized that my phone is on Do Not Disturb. So I'm probably not getting all your messages unless nobody's writing in yet. So let me try that again.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not seeing anything right now, so I'm guessing that we are so smooth.
We are
Everybody
explaining
just knows what is happening
everything
here.
so
Okay.
far.
You know, I wanted to mention something. When I make the challah, I actually like to put in all the wet ingredients first. And then, I first, of course, you got to proof the water. So you proof the water with sugar, because in order for something to grow, you got to nurture it with love, find the good in it, lift it up, and that's when you can inspire and empower someone else, when you nurture them with love.
So you're saying there's other ways to make challah.
I am saying, and I'll tell you why. Because I find that when you do it this way, you're kind of stuck with however much flour you put in. And many times the temperatures in your city, Winnipeg, our nice hot, our gorgeously warm heaters, our warm heaters keep our homes actually more toasty.
Yeah.
And so then you can add in the dry ingredients at the end, so that way you don't have to put it all in, and you can feel the dough and make sure that it doesn't get too heavy by just dumping in all the, but we're stuck, so we're gonna do it this way.
We're going to do it more.
Well, this is how I do it.
And your
so-
challah is amazing, so we're good to
right.
go.
That's right. So, okay. So the next thing that you are going to do is you can take your egg at this time, and oh, wait a minute, 1 second. You need your sugar dish for just 1 second, because you need to check and make sure that your egg doesn't have any blood spots in it. It doesn't want to crack. There we go.
Oh, pause. I'm just finding Julie.
Well, you can do that.
Julie has been
I'll do that.
WhatsApping me instead of text messaging me.
Oh,
so
okay.
we're gonna pause the current program for an update from our online peeps.
Okay.
We have to go back and start over because they are requesting
Oh,
the
no.
ingredients. So I'm going to pause really quickly and just read through the ingredients one more time so those of you can
Got
catch
you.
up. I don't know, is there a possible way to zoom in onto this for just a moment and we can just read it out? Would you mind to
And
just
what's
read it out?
important is make sure you're counting 7 ingredients, and we're going to explain why soon.
That's right. Well, can we explain why now?
Sure.
So the 7 ingredients, I learned this trick when I forgot one of these ingredients and anyways, we're not going to talk about that.
It was salt, wasn't it?
7 ingredients. 7 ingredients represent, of course, the Shabbat, which is God's day, which is a day that we pause and we refocus. And of course, this is traditionally the special bread that we eat on Shabbat. Even though, well, I'm not going to give you guys an answer to a trivia question coming up, so I'm going to wait in on that one.
Oh, we
All right,
almost
so I
had
hope
her.
by now, let me
Yep.
check with Julie if we are clear. We got the recipe. It's all good. Okay, and then there is a emoji. I think it's a smiley face. All right, let's keep moving.
Okay.
That was actually really good because I think by now I see those bubbles inside.
Which
They're
is
coming,
important
they're
to
coming.
wait.
Can you see those bubbles?
Can
So what
everybody
does
see?
that represent? What does that, not represent, but
are you
what's
telling me?
happening here?
Okay,
It
so
looks
now
like-
what is happening is your yeast and your sugar are coming together to, the sugar is actually feeding the yeast and making it bubble and making it grow nice and big. The next thing
Wait,
you're,
I'm sorry.
oh, talk to me.
Do you see the heart?
It's coming.
The love is being felt. There's a
See, that's why you put the well.
Sorry, I almost messed up.
That's why you put the well first. First may not visually look like a heart.
Look,
But
it
hers,
has a
you can
heart.
taste it.
You can taste the sweetness. I think it's the energy of everybody around the world is coming right into our dough.
That's
I
right.
can feel it. I can feel it in the air.
For those gluten-free people, if they're making this challah right now too, would it rise the same? Would the yeast have the same impact?
I
you
mean, could. I mean, working with gluten-free ingredients is a tricky. It's a tricky.
You guys are all looking at me.
It's a tricky situation.
To tell you the truth, I have a colleague. I don't know if I could post her number, but text me privately after, because I know that her son is gluten-free, and she makes, I'm pretty sure it's oats, because I know that spelt, my sister makes a really good spelt challah. Shout out to you, Rosa. But I know that spelt is gluten. But I'm
Correct.
pretty sure that we use a oat flour, and she has like a really great recipe that allows it to still kind of look like challah.
Great.
I also heard that many of the gluten-free recipes, you need to kind of just put in a base, because the braiding is really hard, but then once it's cooked, it can work really well.
Okay.
So if anyone knows how to make a gluten-free challah, and you can post it on our YouTube page, I'm happy to share it with everybody here.
Okay, so realistically, if you're doing that at home, it might not look like this, but hopefully it would at least taste like that.
Yeah, it's coming
Oh,
All right,
sorry, what?
together.
What's
Okay.
going on next?
Okay, so next we are going to check the egg, make sure there's no blood spots. So I look kind of from the bottom and then from the top. This one is clear, so I'm going to put that in. Okay. And then I'm going to put the oil in.
So also, there are many recipes depending on what flavor you want. That's more of an egg version or a water version challah. So I know that like my mother-in-law has this amazing recipe that has no eggs because
That's the one I use every week.
well, my dear husband
So this
was
is not the
allergic to
Monica.
eggs growing up, and his mom, the superwoman, was like, "We must have challah." You know, he used to ask. He used to ask his mom, please, to make him an eggless egg. And so she figured out an amazing challah dough recipe that actually doesn't have the eggs. And then some people can use whole wheat flour. There's honey recipes. This is my favorite challah book. And we'll be selling this live, all links. I'm just kidding. But this Rachi Pinson, I haven't met her, but I can tell you, I hope you're watching Rachi Pinson. This is the most beautiful challah bake book. And there are so many different ideas in here
Oh, that
of
is so cool.
different ways that you can make challah. So this is my, you can see, can you see my egg hands?
Splotches?
This is my favorite
Yeah.
recipe. I mix it up with, I mix this together with,
I love the pictures. Sorry.
that's beautiful.
Sorry, you
Let me
mix
just
it
look.
up
I'm
with-
not- I can't even see the pictures. So I mix this up with, like I chop up some onions and do, this is from my Aunt Beanie. Everything's from a family member somewhere. Shout out Beanie. That's all the Californians, Chabad of Irvine. Welcome to the challah bake. So she taught me, well, she didn't teach me, I kind of stole it from her kitchen because she makes the most heaven challah.
Asked without permission.
You know, borrowed for her niece that she loved. I chop up some oil, I chop up some onions, mix it with poppy seed and oil, and I actually put it into the dough and then use it as a topping with this whole wheat dough. Oh,
That sounds like magic right on your table.
it is really delicious.
Is your Aunt Beanie the same one that does the Dijon mustard dressing?
Yes.
Heaven. Heaven. Heaven, Aunt Beanie. You are heaven.
All right, so let's keep on going with our dough.
Okay, so what I like to do actually is I kind of push the flour in a little bit now at this point because I don't want my yeast and my salt to mix yet. And the reason I do that is because actually yeast can salt can slow the growth of the yeast. So I like to kind of put it in at the very last moment and then mix everything together. Like so.
As you're mixing,
Yeah.
we got a note. Thank you,
What?
dear crowd. Melissa, I'm not sure where she's from. I'm going to just say, Melissa from,
Online.
I was going to say Hong Kong.
From
But from online, says that oat flour makes delicious challah and the yeast still bubbles.
Perfect.
And I take it then that oats is gluten-free. I got to do a little
Okay,
research.
so I wonder if our people online, our crowd out there can send, maybe even send us a recipe for a gluten-free challah that might be awesome.
Well, now that
think
you're
so.
mixing this challah, it's starting to look really good. And if it tastes anything like it looks, and I like this recipe, I might be making a lot of this at home.
Oh yeah.
When I do something, I kind of do it all out. So if I happen to make too much challah, what would you suggest if there's any leftovers that I can't possibly eat anymore? Any suggestions of day-old challah, what you do?
Oh, it sucks when the challah's not fresh. The best is challah straight out of your oven, I say. But if you have...
I have a little trick.
What do you do?
You put it in the oven. Take it out of the freezer, spice it up. You can always just pop it right back in, and then the house smells like amazing.
Yeah.
She doesn't approve.
Oh, I
And
guess
this book actually has a bunch of ideas.
Really?
To keep it
Yeah.
fresh?
For day-old challah?
No. You know what? It's so funny that you say that, Rebecca, because our matriarch, Sarah, so there was 3 miracles that always happened in her home. Her candles, it says, were burning from one Shabbat till another Shabbat. It said that represents the Shabbat candles. I'm trying to see you. Can I see you, Rebecca?
I'm over here.
Okay. Then there was the Anan, the cloud of glory, where was the Shekhinah that rested upon her tent. That represented the family purity, which is the second mitzvah of Jewish women. And then it actually said that her challah would stay fresh from week to week. So,
What?
believe it or not, it talks about this like in a few places. It also talks about it by the tabernacle.
Okay.
One of the kelim, one of the vessels that they had, was actually a table that held 12 loaves of bread. And also about that, it says that the loaves of bread stay fresh. And also with Rebecca, when she came back, we see this concept that they had this. The sages bring this down, that they had this. How's the kneading going? I'm going to keep going.
Keep going.
You
It takes
just
a
keep
while.
kneading your bread until Adina stops talking, and then it should be
so
good.
get comfortable.
Here's the timer.
So anyways, I actually...
Or 10 minutes.
I actually came across this really beautiful explanation on that. Explaining that when Sarah Imenu passed away, the Chumash, the Torah in the Parshat Chayei Sarah, it explains that she lived 127 years. And it says that when she was 100, it was like she was 20, and when she was 20, it was like she was 7, and how she always had this youthful dimension to her. And we know that she was also known, Abraham and Sarah's tent had the 4 sides where it was always left open. And we know that she hosted a lot of guests as they were traveling in the desert in those times, because they didn't have Airbnb. So they would walk through, and she would host them.
Rough times.
Yeah. And this concept...
She was the first Airbnb.
I'm going to check in with these people in 1 minute. If anyone's talking to me, just 1 minute, wait. Meanwhile, so I did a little research on this concept of freshness, and I came across this beautiful concept that what was the beauty in Sarah's challah? And what was the beauty that was then brought back by Rebecca? And remember, guys, these are our matriarchs. So we've got their genes inside of us. So we can tap into that. Like even you, miss. I can't give you the superpower or the tip on how to keep your challah fresh. But what this represents is to be able to have a freshness in everything we do. Talking about those mundane things, specifically, us as women can tap into this superpower, which I'm sometimes still looking for, which allows us to try to look at every mitzvah, every simple thing, again, and no matter how many times we do it, to try to do it with the same passion. You know, I was sitting on my bed the other day, and I was clicking my pen. I was so anxious. I mean, I was so calm, and I was thinking, as I was journaling, and I had my tea, and I was, finishing my stuff. And I was clicking this pen a few times, and I noticed my son, my little Yossi, he was staring up on me. And I don't know if Yossi's on, but I think that we're getting a note that there's some people who have some questions. I'll just finish this thought. I noticed him looking at me, and then he said, "Ma, what are you doing?" So I said, "Come over here." And he walked over to me, and I showed him the pen, and I clicked it, and he watched the pen, and his eyes lit up, and he goes, "Whoa." And that really hit me. How many times do we do things? Do we get stuck in the day-to-day routine where we're just running and moving and going? And we lose the flavor, we lose the beauty, we lose this incredible, really spirituality that makes really the ordinary extraordinary. So that's the message of the freshness. We could keep the freshness in the challah, meaning we can keep that freshness, keep that pizzazz. A little bit of wine helps. We can keep that energy and passion even in those mundane mitzvot. We pray 3 times a day traditionally, right? Every single mitzvah, to recognize that this is really a new moment in time, and I can face this with energy and freshness.
That's beautiful. So in reality, there's a possibility that Sarah's challah wasn't necessarily fresh in taste, as we called challah, and those living standards might be a little bit different, but always fresh in experience and meaning.
Yeah. All right, so we got some online comments. And if you guys can tell me where you're from, that would be so cool so that I can share that with you. Oh, my dear Vivian from Winnipeg. She wants everyone to know how delicious Mrs. Alltine's challah is. I guess she tasted it firsthand.
It's such a good one.
We have Chaya online that says she recommends to make French toast with the day-old challah. Lara, I'm not sure where she is. I think that she said, I don't know where she's from. She recommends to make challah cinnamon buns.
Oh, that's
okay. Post that one.
Sounds like
and
this is the winner.
Musya says that you can use. I don't know what EFFS is. EFFs?
What?
I think it meant eggs. This autocorrect.
Oh!
Come on, tell me if that's right. You can use EFFS if you do not want to do flax eggs. I'm not sure what that says.
I think.
Oh, you can use like
is that like
flax seeds, couldn't you, in replacement for eggs?
Oh.
Something like that, but we don't know if that's really it.
Okay, Musya, let us know if it's flax seeds instead of eggs, or eggs instead of. If there's this new mystical, amazing ingredient called EFFs. And our online people want to know if the video recording will be available. I will speak to the tech and we'll find that out afterwards. Okay. So how's that dough doing? How's your arms, Monica?
This is great.
What's your Hebrew name, by the way?
My Hebrew name is Ahava Eliana.
Beautiful.
Ahava. You see, tonight is just, it's all about love, ladies.
It's all about
love.
about
choosing to be positive and choosing to dig deep within and bring that beauty and passion into our simple things, like baking bread, which is not so simple in our days.
Yeah.
You know, but it represents so much more.
So I think if you like, I'm finding this dough is a little bit sticky, but and so if you guys are finding that at home too, just take a little bit of extra flour if you've got some at home, and just sprinkle a little bit extra.
You know what? I have
on.
some. Do you want me to grab some flour?
That'd be awesome.
I'll grab you some extra flour.
You want your dough to be kind of elasticy at the end of the kneading. So you'll feel the difference. Like you should be able to feel the difference. Like it should like kind of bounce back at you a little bit. And that's how you know your dough is ready to just kind of rest and relax.
Oh.
I'll just take
Well, speaking
I would
about
take a
dough
pinch.
Can you imagine if my arm would have just like...
I would have kind of liked that.
I would have been so sad.
Well, we would have had Monica be able to embrace anything that comes her way, because that's
right.
The motto of today
this is
that
about.
she would have figured out that dough.
So while you're making this dough, and I'm watching you kind of blend the yeast in so it can rise a bit, it's kind of making me think about Passover that's coming up. And knowing that now we have some key ingredients for making challah, what would be the big differentiating factor besides cooking it in the oven? So I could make the matzah just like making the challah. Can you explain a little bit about what is the main differences in ingredients for it?
So I'm starting to hyperventilate, because warning number one, you do not want to try to make matzah at home. There's actually an extremely specific way on how you make matzah. It has to be made from A to Z in under 18 minutes. And so I would say leave it to the experts. If you want to hear more about it, I'm pretty sure that Rabbi Baruch is the guy you got to speak to. He's our amazing, incredible youth director. And as I mentioned that here, I am going to give a shout out to my entire team at Chabad, Rebbetzin and Mrs. Altine, and Chana and Baruch Heidingsfeld, and of course Linda and Grandma Allah, and everybody who rolled with the punches with us the last couple days and just helped us make this event and everything else that happens at Chabad amazing. But anyways, he's the guy to talk to on the matzah.
Okay.
But let me ask you, Rebecca, when you look at the two things, so yes, you might see there's similar ingredients, but do you notice, trivia, do you notice any difference?
Between this and what matzah dough would look like?
No, the finished product, the dough and the matzah.
Well, one is going to be fluffy and delicious, and one might taste like cardboard and is flat.
Bingo! Ding, 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 ding.
Correct.
You got that one. So again, this is, of course, meaning, because every single thing that we do in our life has so many levels of meaning that we just got to try to tap into. It just uplifts us. So very short, because I know there's a guest trivia game and a guest speaker who's waiting for us. And very short, the challah again, which we're going to talk about the mitzvah soon, The challah reminds us in that mundane thing that we have the power to rise above. So that rising, yes, there's a time and place for humility, and that we talk about by the
At Pesach.
the Pesach time, right? But when we're making this challah, we're talking about this ability to break through our boundaries, this ability to kind of grow and to be able to get past our restrictions. And we, again, have that soul inside of us that every single one of you girls, we're all connected and sisters, that even, again, when something seems like you can't handle it, call your friend, cry, have a hissy fit, then stand back up and recognize that is there something deeper inside that I can pull up and rise above?
Beautifully said.
You know, can I find a little more patience? Can I find a little more love? Is God trying to turn me in some sort of direction that will just allow me to see something that I've never seen before? And I can tell you that over this last year, I have seen so many things that I thought were supposed to be one way and I did not think I could handle. You know, my husband, unfortunately, is battling cancer, and he has been such a warrior. And you think I could handle this? No, but I have found inside of me moments of peace and moments of faith that I never, ever experienced in my life. And because of the hardship, I was able to tap into these, you know, wells of meaning and energy that actually allowed me to cope in such a crazy time. And now I'm really happy because I'm not the only one who feels crazy, because I just go on Facebook and Instagram and everybody is digging deep for those extra strengths that they have inside. So now I feel really united with all my sisters because
We're here.
I'm not the only one. We're all in the same boat. And I know many people struggle at different times, and this is what tonight is about. Reach out, connect, rise above. No matter what's going on around us, we've got this. All right,
We need to
this
cover
good?
this.
let this rise.
We need to rise.
Okay, we'll find a cover for that. Let's head on
Okay.
over. Can you
Here,
use
maybe
this?
we'll use this. We'll use one of our, I recommend using maybe like a tea towel or something, and some people like to dampen their tea towels as well, just to kind of keep the moisture on the challah. If you don't cover it, it can dry out the top. So it's really important to give it a cover. You don't need to use a moist tea towel if you don't want to. You can just use a dry cover as well.
I actually once forgot about my challah in a bowl, and I could not get off the towel. It was stuck. So we have towel challah. No, I'm just kidding. I just cut off that whole piece of yeast.
Probably would have risen enough.
All
All right,
right.
so now this is the time. Sit back, relax, lay on your couch. You could join us on our couch, and it's trivia time.
Woohoo!
Okay. So, on your screens, you will be seeing a way that you can all join this incredible game. As our dough rises, we can have some fun. So I'm going to challenge my two colleagues here to pull out your phone,
Oh dear.
and what you see on your screen, you can go to that website. If you have time or you have the app, you can use the app. We're going to www.kahoot.it, and you're punching in the code 1846535. Again, 1846535. So I already see there's Winnipeg has joined the game.
Kahoot.
So you can just take a minute. I'm going to challenge these two ladies and see how they can do on this fun trivia game tonight.
Well, you're going to challenge me to be tech savvy, which is not
How are you guys
happening
doing
right
with
now.
the link?
I'm
I'm
still
on it, I'm on
connected
it.
to a past one.
Oh,
Yeah.
so maybe refresh and start again. I'm going to check in with our online
I'm
community
in.
to make sure that everybody knows where we are.
I'm going to have to do that again.
Of course, I have this like long
Kahoot.
password so my kids don't get to my phone. I almost forgot it. All right. While you guys are searching for that, I'm just going to
There we
give
go.
some updates.
Are you in?
184, just about 65.
Okay,
35.
my sister said we should all put our aprons on.
That's what I said.
So we're going to get our aprons on when we all get our hands into the dough and do that braiding. Mia from Brossard, it's a Montreal area, Brossard, wants to give a shout out to Sterna, the matriarch of Chabad of South Shore. She also has used half banana per egg as an egg replacement.
What? That sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's applesauce for oil replacement. This can get pretty healthy.
Okay, we have two more questions here.
Okay, we're good.
I am feeling all the love, all of you that are
Yeah.
sending the love. I see
in.
Lara and Karen, Julie and Tony, my cousins in New York City. Thank you, great to see you. Everybody sends their love. Your family sends their love. Your mom.
Oh, hi, family.
And Mabel wants to know, when is the best time, Monica, to add raisins to the dough?
Oh, see, I don't often add raisins to the dough, but I think it would be when you're about to knead everything in, that's when you add the raisins. But our online people, if I am wrong, please correct me. My husband hates raisins, so I can never make raisin challah.
So I do think it really depends what you're putting in and how much you want the texture to be inculcated into the dough.
Yeah.
Right? So like I know the onions and if you really want it to be part of the dough, you got to put it in when you're already kneading it.
Yeah.
Because once the dough is done, it becomes like a little bit rubbery.
Yes,
so
you can't do it once you've finished like kneading all the dough, you won't be able to get anything in there.
Oh my gosh, we are fully loaded with a whole bunch of users.
Good. One more thing with all the sweet teeth people. Would the same thing be with chocolate chips?
Yeah, I would
Knead at
put
the
it
same
in.
time?
Yeah, I put it in all at the same. Like for chocolate chips, for sure, I would put just as I'm about to start kneading the dough. Like once I've added my salt in, I would throw in maybe a half a cup of chocolate chips, more if you want more.
So like once the dough is basically together,
Yeah.
but not yet fully kneaded.
Right.
Put it in then. That's what I do with the onions
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're ready to start.
Let's
so
do it.
Just notice if anyone joins us later in the game, there is a notice on the bottom of the screen. Oh, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I will read the question and you can put in the answers. What is the mitzvah of challah? A, to eat bread on Shabbat. B, or yellow, to make braided bread. To cover the bread with a cloth. To separate a piece of dough and to dedicate it to God.
They all sound pretty good.
Monica, who's going to be the one? Rebecca?
I put it in. It's just got to do its thing.
15 people have answered, 16, 17. I can't see your answers yet, so we'll have to
I
wait
don't
till
know
the
if
end of
it's
the
coming
question
in.
or the end of those 30 seconds, and then the answer will pop up.
How long is yours still?
Mine's still Genius Machining.
I'm lightning smart.
Oh.
So
What does that mean?
It just says Genius Machine. And hers says Lightning Smart.
I wonder what yours says. Julie, do we have anything else other
Well,
than
there's
Genie
16
Machine?
more seconds, so I
Wow.
think they're waiting
We
for
have
until
38 responses already, and the numbers
yeah,
keep flying.
41, 43.
Wouldn't this be cool if it would be like raising money for...
Oh, that would be
And the numbers are
unbelievable.
coming in. Donate at www. We've got 47,817 million. Where did the answer? Oh! And the wait. What happened? Oh.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
That just went a little too fast.
name this challah dip.
1 second.
We don't know.
We didn't get a chance to see the screen. So tech people, is it possible to slow down the poll so that we can see the answers? I think I saw something of the Kogans on the top, because
Yep.
maybe they got their answer in the faster. But now you guys are already answering this.
Oh my gosh,
Name
we
this
don't know.
challah dip. Hummus,
Hummus.
baba ganoush, matbucha, or tchina.
Uh-oh.
Remember, after this 38 seconds, it's going to go quick.
I'm gonna say
and we're going to
this.
see who answered that.
Does it say the answers on this currently or just at the end?
Just at the end. So we
Okay.
can't really see what you guys are answering until
Okay.
the 25 seconds are done.
All right.
And then
Okay,
it pops
so-
up. And because we have so many people on board, hundreds and thousands of women worldwide, we won't see everybody's names. We'll just see the people that come in with the highest scores.
Got it.
And that means answering the questions as quick as you possibly can.
So no one would outright know how many errors I've made.
Well, we want to see
Yeah,
your
that's
names
what
up
I
in
was
the top
thinking.
10 scoreboard. All right, and 0. That is my... Guys, you are good. 24%. 24
I don't
at matbucha.
I don't even know what that is.
I've never heard that word in my life.
Okay, do you guys want to know what that is?
I got it right.
A little bit, but we're on a timeline, aren't we? Okay.
All right, so let's keep going. The next question.
But now I'm curious.
Matbucha is basically like tomatoes mixed. It's an Israeli dip, and it's really good with challah. I personally prefer hummus, like the whole tray of hummus when the challah comes.
Because
out
that's
of the oven.
unbelievable, especially
No,
every
I'm
time
Baba
And I'm sure
ganoush.
there's some connection with like the letters of hummus and the Hebrew, but I haven't looked into that one yet.
everything Jewish.
Okay,
seems
we're
to
on the
have
next
it.
question. Here we go. What is your favorite challah topping? This is going to be a poll, so we'll be able to hear from all of you.
Yeah, there's
Poppy
no
seeds.
wrong answer here.
Except for in polls. Technically
Onions.
there is. So this will be
Sesames.
interesting.
Sorry,
No, keep going.
there is a right answer.
Well, I mean, if
There
you want to
is a
score
right-
the highest, it's the most popular
We want to see
answer.
what's the most popular.
But I'm
Okay,
curious
yeah,
about the
yeah,
truth, so
Everything
luck.
but the bagel. Unfortunately, in Winnetoba, In Manitoba, we can't get that spice. That's an amazing spice.
One
that you get.
second. No, she's wrong. You can't get it from Trader Joe's. That is true. But you can get it at Winners. Kosher, OU, everything but the bagel.
She's been holding this secret for me so that I have to make my sisters buy for me Trader Joe's.
No, get
Monica.
Trader Joe's. It's better.
All right. So apparently Winners sells that too. And where can you get poppy seeds, sesame seeds, and onions?
I mean, everywhere.
Basically everywhere you look?
Instacart it to our homes these days. And the answer is the most liked. Really?
Sesame seeds. That's my second favorite.
Yes?
I love sesame seeds.
I thought
But-
everyone loved it.
I do too, but everything but the bagel is like that.
King.
That
I think
stuff
those
is
people have
heaven.
never tasted
Well,
it.
That's the
Well,
key.
the green is second, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
and the poppy seeds can get in my teeth, so if I'm trying to sneak
Yes.
challah when no one's watching, and then I smile, there's always evidence for the
There is,
sesame
there
seeds.
is,
All right, the next question is
It's like
going. Sorry to
kale.
interrupt. Why do we have 2 loaves of challah on Shabbat? To double our good fortune. To remember that, ooh, I like that one. To double our good fortune.
Probably not true.
I hope that's the
To
one.
remember the double portion of the manna that fell in the desert. And symbolic of the 2 tablets, the luchot, to remember our 2 holy temples.
These are all really good,
Really good
possibly
answers.
false answers.
Well, usually in a Jewish crowd we have multiple
Correct answers.
opinions.
Yeah, I'm
There
sure we
is
can
one-
argue why
There is one actually
everyone is
documented.
good.
so
I would like
we'll stick
somebody
with that.
to argue the first one. Put
Double
that
our
one
good
in the books
fortune.
for us.
2 cups of wine, 2 challahs.
Why aren't there 2 cups of wine on the table?
I let them runneth over.
I
We
like
do
it's
that.
2 desserts instead of a desert, you know.
This should be our new thing.
That's it. It's all 2s.
Doubles.
Double it up, ladies, and let's see what the answer is. To remember, this crowd is like so unbelievable.
On fire.
We do have
The portion of mana.
the right winners here. 24 people knew. And the
Mega
scores are
challah
changing.
bake is winning.
Who is Mega Challah Bake? Really? Monica, you saw the script.
I was just
I
gonna
think
say,
you
did
have
you
to.
email
Hello,
her these
can you please?
questions?
I did not. I saw nothing.
Oh, she just
saw
knows.
All right, the next question.
okay.
Let's keep going.
I saw the
On
first
Rosh
one.
Hashanah, I'm sorry.
Okay,
we
go.
dip the challah into salt water, ketchup, honey, or hummus. So this is a little bit of a tricky question. So notice it very quickly.
Oh.
The question is on Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
That's why I became confident.
Yes.
Are you trying
Salt water, ketchup, honey, or hummus. So you should really think about, the message of Rosh Hashanah. Just think about the question.
It seems pretty
I
apparent.
gotta trick this one because
I'm gonna
we gotta
say
put it
I'm
in.
Gotta
gonna
get
say
this
you
wrong,
can
embarrassing.
see the answer on the screen. That's my hint.
Oh, Monica. I need my glasses.
She can't see.
Shmuley, can you pass
I
my
don't
glasses?
see ketchup on this screen.
Yeah, no, not ketchup. Although my
And
kids
challah and salt
would.
water? Wouldn't that be like pure mush?
It would be.
Well, we have to remember.
Sorry for answer number 8.
We gotta
Letter
remember
A.
the
Triangles.
tears.
On Shabbos?
No.
Rosh Hashanah.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, the answers are in, and we got this right. We dip that challah into the sweetness the entire Tishrei month, actually. We want to add that extra sweetness. We want to pray for sweetness during that month, and so we dip the challah in.
Oh, whoa, I missed the
New Year.
question.
Okay, we're on next. I'm going to read it quickly. If you guys don't mind to just be quiet for a minute, I'm going to read the question, and I really want everybody to be able to hear it. In addition, I was going to say that this is like the best audience ever because you guys are so quiet. However,
You're also losing time.
in addition to the challah, what other special mitzvot were given to the women? Triangle, I believe. Family purity. Is that a square turned? Diamond. I'm going to go with the colors. Blue is kosher. Yellow is the Shabbat candles. And education. So I think for this one, you can click more than one answer. Because if you can't, then we have 2 more answers.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're correct.
So check, guys. How's it going?
Good.
So it's 2.
I mean,
Well, maybe more than 2.
there's really, I don't know.
Okay, can you pause after this question because it seems that we have some
I'm gonna
moaning.
No, I'm just saying I think there's one clear answer.
All right.
So I don't know. Were you guys able to click 2 answers?
I clicked one and it said it
Okay,
kinda
there is
highlights
2.
both right
yeah,
here.
Yeah.
So
there
were
are
you
2.
able to click 2 or just if you picked
I
one?
didn't try.
I only tried one because I was
You
only
didn't try.
confident with one.
Okay, so let's just talk about this for 10 seconds. Can
Yeah.
we? Sure. Because I know we trumped you on this one a little bit. Can you tell me your thoughts on that? Like, where did you go with that?
Okay, so I think that the Shabbat candles was the clear answer because I think family purity is like a two-way street. It's not just up to the women, but I mean, I'm not a Rebbitzin, so you might know more than me.
So actually, the family purity is about the women who use the mikvah. So that is actually a mitzvah that was primarily given to the women. And we have a gorgeous mikvah downstairs. We actually stole all the furniture. We went around the building and stole all the plants and furniture to bring this set live to you because the stores we couldn't get to. And it's actually one of the very special mitzvot that are given to women. And that's represented in that cloud that we spoke about from Sarah Imenu, that through this special mitzvah, she's able to bring, the keeper of the relationship, she's able to bring that holiness in. But everything in a Jewish home is a partnership, right?
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like it's a partnership. For sure, you have the mitzvah of the mikvah and that kind of thing. Yeah. And that for sure is the woman's job to go and do that. But I feel like it's a two-way.
Yeah. But again, when we reflect upon that there were 3 mitzvot that were primarily given to women, hold on the question one more second. This is a very important point. I'll cut it out for my later speech and we'll catch up with time. This is a very important point because when we reflect upon it, women are given such a huge role in Jewish life. And they're reflected in these mitzvot. Women are put on a pedestal and they're given like this tremendous task to set the atmosphere in the entire home, to keep the family purity and be able to bring that godliness into their home, right? And when we talk about, like before, we talked about attitude, we talked about being, that the woman, that's her superpower, that she can just kind of contain all the energies in her home. We see that in these mitzvot. And that's why the other 2 are pretty confusing too, because actually the challah is representative of the bigger picture, which is kosher. And although it is a mitzvah for everybody, one of the reasons that we actually make the challah is to represent a kosher home. And then education, the woman carries the child for 9 months, and primary education, that feeling and those foundations and standards are given as a gift for the women to imbue in their home, right? So especially the next couple of weeks, we're gonna, need that. But I tried to run away from this. I tried to say, it's not my superpower, take it away. But really our energy and our mindset and the way that we interact and that positivity and choice of attitude, it creates the entire foundation. Like Shmuley walks around singing, if mommy's happy, everybody's happy, and he sings it again and again and again. And I'm like, no, I want to be in a bad mood now.
Yeah, well,
but this
happy
again,
wife, happy life.
Right, so we can reflect upon this as either a burden or we can look at the huge responsibility that we have, this tremendous honor that the Torah gives us to be able to be the premiers in these 3 mitzvot. Make sense?
Completely.
I wish maybe in the after show, the second segment, can you give us some tips on how to stay sane? Because my dear friend is a health specialist. All right, let's keep going. The next question. You guys got your phones back out?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Open-ended. Ooh. What does challah mean to you? I wonder how this is going to show up.
Guess if
Players,
you just listen to her,
type
you
your
know the answer.
answers. Oh, we'll do this after. When do we get to see the answers? Not till the end? So meanwhile, it looks like you guys are all typing in your answers. I'm going to just catch up with the live feed. Challah from Japan.
Wow.
No, that's not true.
I
Challah from
I don't know if this...
Ottawa says, Challah, where are you from? Can you tell me? Says that the raisins go in right before you braid it, and the same thing for adding the chocolate chips.
No, really?
Well,
Let's put that as
how much better it would taste. However, you don't need to because you don't put the
Let's put that as our next trivia question. When do you put in the
But
raisins?
isn't it hard to get into the dough? I don't know.
But it might not need to be as blended because they kind of stand out in and of themselves. Like I wouldn't want the challah to be pure chocolate. I'd like to bite into each individual chocolate chips. So that would make sense.
All right, so we got the top few here. Oh, we got a few repeats. So
no.
challah means to you connection, family. It's so unbelievable when you think about challah. Oh, and she's out of the game. Yes, Monica missed her answer.
Isn't it incorrect?
Yeah,
Well, you guys.
My answer was what?
Mega challah bake, you're still on the top. Liva Ita, unless this is an old slide. I don't know. 1 second before you go on. Okay, we'll go on to the next one, and then I wanted to read one more connection here. How many loaves of challah were displayed on the show table? And if you were listening to our previous conversation, we gave this one away. 8, 2, 10, or 12.
What?
Show table?
The show table was the shulchan in the tabernacle. So first in the Mishkan, when the
okay.
Jewish
I'm like-
people would travel,
I'm like-
and then again in the Beit HaMikdash, they had a special vessel. It's one of the few vessels that they had in the Beit HaMikdash, and there was always bread on there that stayed fresh. Remember the fresh conversation?
Sarah's fresh bread.
That's right. So this was another time where we hear that the bread
Wow.
stayed fresh in the Beit HaMikdash.
Oh, this is
I guess I wasn't listening very well to you.
me neither.
It didn't
Oh,
stick.
This did not stick.
And you guys have 17 seconds. Don't get out.
I
Don't get out from
can't even
writing
look
the
at her.
answer.
She's not even doing it.
Shoot, yeah, we can't
Oh. Meanwhile, while it's 9 seconds, Lara agrees with you, Monica. Lara also puts raisin in with the rest of the ingredients to make it easier.
Thank you.
Okay, and what's the answer going to be? Let's see.
I'm gonna go this one.
All right, 12. Yes, and that is to represent the 12 Shvatim, because we know in the Beit HaMikdash there was 12 different
Why?
tribes. What did you think?
No, I got it right and I clicked it and then
probably-
it
you
said
clicked-
incorrect.
Did you miss the timer?
I missed
You
it.
possibly missed the timer.
My streak is
Don't give up.
It's okay, you're
I'm
with
not
me.
giving up.
Still.
That's it.
Well, we haven't yet seen. What's your code name?
I'd rather not tell.
Oh, well.
I'm joking.
I think you might be Rifki from Pomona. All right, the next question. How big was the largest, no Googling, how big was the largest recorded challah ever baked?
Wait, what does it say?
How many more questions do we have?
Can you read these? Because I can't see it with
Oh,
the
yes,
screen.
100 feet, 3,000 pounds of dough. Whoa, what? 100 feet, 3,000 pounds of dough. 18 feet, 95 pounds of dough. Now you have to ask Allah how many liters that is. No, not liters. How many kilometers? She measures in a different system.
150.
32 feet, 150 pounds of dough. Or 55 feet, 297 pounds of dough.
Largest. Well, 18 just sounds symbolic unless you're Canadian because it goes in.
How would that fit into
Yeah.
an oven? We probably have to know how many ovens.
Touché.
Who has a big oven,
Okay.
Yeah.
right? Like,
That just changed my opinion.
You know?
I don't know anyone with a
I don't know this
55-foot
answer
oven,
yet.
but that doesn't mean to say it doesn't exist.
I decided to just guess. That's it. We'll see.
Can you
what happens.
imagine that by your bar mitzvah?
That would just, it'd be
mean,
like
you know.
the subway of challah.
Yeah, we could slice it in the middle.
Whoa.
Ooh, I see it now. Add the meat. Oh, and where? What's the answer? 1,550 pounds of dough. I just need to talk about this sandwich. We need to have the chips on the side. We need to have the cold cuts lined up with ketchup, mustard, and some sauerkraut. And I lost you. But let's go on.
No, I like that.
MC is in the lead. Mega Challah Bake, you are second. Rifki S, Palamoda, and Bas Mitzvah Girl, you guys made it to the leaderboard. Now, before we go on, we have one final question. So get your answers in, lady. And
Two.
we are going. Two more
Is it
questions.
10 of 11?
What
10 of 11.
what was special?
What was special
What was-
about the Matriarchs Sarah's challah?
It was better than Aaron's.
Yes, it was.
Oh no, it was better than aromas.
Oh, that's so good.
I think we needed better than Grandma Allah's. It stayed fresh all week. It had special braids, and you only needed one piece to be full. That is a miracle
Oh,
challah.
that would be
That
so
would
good.
be
That's
the
the one we
best.
need.
So we're not putting in our wishes what we want our
This
challah
is
to be.
what Sarah's challah truly was.
Right.
We
We
need
have
a poll. We need a poll.
We need a poll.
Right
Yes,
now.
this should be a poll. Tech, can you change this to a poll answer?
But wouldn't that be sad to only eat one?
But you would feel the pleasure of eating the
one can
whole
have, like,
challah
butter
dough in
and
just
salt.
one bite.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I feel like the loaf is the way to go. You need to eat the
You
loaf.
need more than one.
All right, let's see what the answer to this is. And 3, 2, 1. Bingo! It stayed fresh. You know what? I think they were listening. We talked about this,
We
guys.
talked a lot about that.
All right, and the last final question before we go check on our dough and see how the rising is doing. It is a poll.
How often?
How often do you and or your mom or you bake challah together? Do you do it weekly? Only at this virtual,
Once or twice
ever
a year.
better, amazing,
Never.
in the house challah bake, or once or twice a year, or bake? Never. Eat it way too often.
I'm going to be
Cute.
honest
is a
and not
cute
go
game.
for the winning vote right now.
This is actually fun.
This is very cute.
You're hiding from
No,
the
no,
scoreboard.
I'm purposely not going to win this one because
we hear ya. We hear ya.
Because I'm not a baker, but
And there's
maybe
still
after
30
learning how to
seconds.
bake delicious challah, I might be. But no, I just like to eat it. Husband brings it home from schmoozers every week.
Nice.
L'chaim. Sorry, I just need a little break. I actually made a bracha before. So I just was like, this feels weird. But I've been drinking this all night. And I also don't want to tell you what's really inside here. So we're just going to pretend that this is
This
right
red
here.
wine is.
All right,
color.
so here is our, wow. We have 40% who bakes the challah weekly, and yet you guys are still coming to join us. So ladies, that's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. So thank you, ladies and ladies, for joining us in this incredible trivia of the mega virtual challah eating, I wish, challah bake. All right, did any of you guys win? Oh, here's the winners. Let's see. One.
Wow.
Who's it?
Oh, you get time.
What do I win?
Okay, we got to start this
A
segment
lot
over.
of
This
my
is
respect.
Yes, that's all I wanted
This
tonight.
was not planned. We have our very own host, Monica. Congratulations. We present to you the bottle of wine that we could not open because we broke the cork. Enjoy.
Oh my God.
And happy Shabbos.
Oh, I'm gonna have such a good Shabbos now. Thank you.
All right, let's keep this program rolling.
All right.
Monica,
What is
let's
next
go
on the
check on that dough.
Yes,
Let's go check on that dough.
I think it's time.
All right.
And I'd like to welcome in
Excuse
Musi
us.
Alltime to the floor. Hi. Representing the girls that turned bat mitzvah this year, we welcome Musi Alltime.
Hi.
So, word on the street is you turned a pretty important year this year. The big one, too, the special bat mitzvah. How do you feel about that?
It's very special, and I was really looking forward to doing my bat mitzvah party at the Mega Challah Bake. And it turns out I was in LA. And then the Mega Challah Bake was pushed off, and we had a mini thing in LA, which is really fun. And then we come here, and we were gonna still do my bat mitzvah party here. And then it gets put online. And it's like, oh great. And so I decided I'll make it extra special, and I know it's for the best, so I just made up another song.
That's amazing. Way to be adaptive in these hard times, especially when you've been spending most of your life looking forward to what you're going to do for bat mitzvah, and then these opportunities were sort of taken from you. I really respect you seeing the light, and I think you're pretty admirable to everyone else.
Thank you.
So, another sort of disappointment that's happening in this 2020 year is a lot of the schools are now being shut down. So, now that your school is going to be closing, what's your plan?
Well, in the mornings, I go to online school, which is basically I'm learning online. And I still get to see girls on, like, camera, and I still get to speak to them, and I'm still learning with teachers in the
great.
mornings, and it's nice.
All right, you don't mind that, having all this extra
No,
family time?
The extra stuff in the afternoon is just getting used to all my siblings.
I bet that is a lesson in and of itself. All right, I heard that you're pretty good at making up some songs.
Yeah, I've made up 3 major ones, but the other ones are really minor.
Have you recorded any?
1
All right.
for my best mitzvah.
Was it nervous, wracking?
No, it was fun.
It was comfortable.
My brother played on the keyboard, and my mother gave all our positivity.
That's really nice. Do you happen to have one here? Can I hear a couple words from it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm just gonna sing it to you.
You have it over there?
Here Mother to the rescue.
Well, when you're doing it, now just before I hear words, what was your inspiration? What kind of went on in your head to make you express yourself?
Well, at first I was kind of upset that it was going online and I wouldn't be able to be doing this whole march that we planned special for now. And then I thought it over and I realized, wait a second, I'm going to reach so many more people. I may as well do the best of it, and because it's only women, make up a song.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so the theme is that you keep adapting to these situations.
It's not easy.
Sorry.
It never
Keep
really
going.
is, but we seem to gain a lot of strength through these times, so good on you. Yes, Adina?
All right, so
Don't worry about it now. All right, well, if she doesn't have the words now, that's okay.
I think she wants to share a few of the lyrics. They're
Okay.
actually amazing.
This girl has been thrown so many curveballs, and I just look at her and I'm like, where on earth do you come from? And so I'm trying to, my finger is in dough, so I'm going to get this on. I'd like you to share, hang in there, ladies. Your dough still needs to rise. I'd like you to share some of the lyrics.
Okay.
Because they are probably more powerful than anything, no offense, but than anything we can say here tonight. So.
And I was also told that at the end of the show, she will be performing it. So we'll hear some lyrics now, but we will see the real thing in action regardless as soon as we are done talking.
With my mother.
Aww.
All right, so let's get
Mother-daughter
this on.
holiday and
Song.
performance.
Well, see, I'm pretty sure I printed out like 4 copies for you.
You printed out one.
All
Maybe
right.
is it under here? No.
Is it right there?
Yeah, there it is.
You got it.
Oh, great. Okay. I actually know it sort of by heart, but I didn't want to mess up.
I respect that.
Okay. It goes, Sarah sat depressed, trapped in her own house. She had the coronavirus, the tears fell on her blouse. Sarah was alone, she felt no one was by her side. What could she do? She doesn't want to hide. You've got 2 choices here, one to cry and one to cheer. Take advantage, do not fear, do God's words each with care. When it's dark in the night, add light. Optimism will win this fight. Redemption will come, pain and death will be done, because we chose to unite. Redemption will come. Deep inside we're standing strong. God's hand will bring us all to a world of peace and calm. As women we have a job to fill our homes with holiness, making challah, lighting candles with love and happiness. God gave this commandment specifically to us, and at the age of 12, bat mitzvah, you passed it on to us. And then it does the chorus again. Sarah decided because she was 12, she would do her best to spread light on the internet. She showed the world that she still had might, even though she was stuck at home, uniting and inspiring others to clone. And then it does just the ending. When it's dark in the night, add light. Optimism will win this fight. Redemption will come. Pain and death will be done because we chose to unite. And then instead of doing the other part, it says, let's stand strong. It's a good, strong ending.
It's beautiful. You're a poet and an artist. Well, welcome. And now it's time to braid some challah. So I'm going to guide you back to the kitchen, and we're going to meet the other ladies. Thank you so much for coming here. And
My pleasure.
Okay, so I'm going to do a quick check-in. Before we actually braid the challah, this is the pinnacle of the evening. This is where we're going to join together to put our superpowers into action.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to invite the bat mitzvah girl to come right here in the middle. And the actual name challah comes from this mitzvah, which is when we have this beautiful dough that just rose, we pause and we take a piece out. We pause and we take, it's called hafrashat challah. We take a piece out. Traditionally, this piece was given to the Kohen in the Beit HaMikdash because we wanted to thank him for all the hard work that he did for his community. So there was some gratitude there. Nowadays, we still make a blessing, we still take a piece, and we actually set it aside and burn it. So we're just showing again that everything that we have in our life, all of this is coming from a higher power. This time, where we're taking off a little bit and thinking about perspective and where are we and what's going on, right? We have this gorgeous dough, our lives are going on. And now we're pausing and we try to really focus and recognize what's going on, right?
yeah. Yeah.
So what does again Shabbat represent?
Unity,
Okay.
going within, being together as a
Family.
family,
Yeah.
You know what was very cool?
disconnect.
My sister-in-law called me right before this evening. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm getting some waves. Or am I going too slow, too fast? For some reason, I can't get back on my phone, so I lost Julie.
Oh no.
I'm going to try one more time to get back on here. I'm so happy we had our first glitch. This has been rolling. And I'm going to get back on here and just check in with Julie.
Well,
Okay.
as we're about to bake the challah too, this is the time that we are supposed to regroup, refocus, and go within. So while we're waiting for Adina to do this, I'd really encourage you all to kind of shake out your neck and shoulders, let go of all the stress that we've really been carrying through the news, through social media, just within ourselves too. Take a deep breath. If it takes you 2 seconds to inhale, let it take about 3 or 4 seconds to exhale. So really let go of the stress, let go of the burden, let go of your past so we can really bring on this uniting and new beginning.
Yeah.
I love that. I am so happy. I am so happy my phone wasn't working.
I'm relaxed now.
So I'm just getting something very special. At this time, we're going to stand together again with women from around the world. We are facing something now that unites us all. It is an unprecedented time in history. And we have the power now to take that unity and to choose positivity with that. Again, to focus on that challenge and seeing the beauty within it. My sister-in-law sent me a beautiful message saying that this week, for the very, very first time ever, all people worldwide will actually mostly be staying home. And in a way, it's a challenge for each of you to try this week to keep the Shabbat, to bring those chalot in your family, to turn off that technology. You don't need to hear the news anymore. To do your best, reach out to your local Chabad Rebbetzin. They'll give you the tools on how to do it. And to take the time that across the world, we can unite in a single day of peace and celebration and, of course, perspective. I'm getting this message from some people who want us to mention some specific people who need our prayers. We have the Peretz Nelko family. This is very important. Her husband is a doctor, and she asks that we pray for all the healthcare workers helping fight and treat COVID-19.
So important.
This is really powerful.
We value the most right now to keep everyone thriving.
And it's so unbelievable because we see, like, this is what they were trained to do. And yet we don't think twice like, oh, this doctor is working over hours. Oh, they're bending over backwards.
Oh, they're putting their health at risk for the greater good.
That's right.
And
I've
they
seen
have
so
families and loved ones.
And families are impacted by this. It's not just them themselves,
That's
but
right.
the whole community at large.
And I've also seen such beautiful things come up. This woman messaged me, hey, do you need any groceries dropped off? The positivity that's being overpoured over Facebook. I know you saw a few things.
Yeah, there was something really interesting that was posted about how now the canals in Venice are clear and dolphins are coming closer to Italy right now because there is less pollution now, and that now since China's factories have all but been shut down, a lot of them, they have cut their emissions way more than we ever thought could happen.
So we know that in Jewish tradition, we have been waiting for a day where we would see the divinity in everything. We would see the world shine with God's light. We would see the world giving. And my daughter has a hunch. I'm not going to think where she took it from, but that we are starting to embrace that era. And so right now we can all turn inward. We're going to make the blessing, and then we're going to have a moment of silent meditation. You are welcome to say some prayers. We do have a charity box here that we will give. It won't be on the screen because you guys will have that video. Take the time, because we know when you want prayers, when you're facing prayer, the first thing is to pray for someone else. Take a moment. Text a friend who needs something good. This is the most important part of the evening. And so we're going to do this now together. So Musi, the bat mitzvah girl, the one who represents the next generation of strong women. Our hope is so strong when I look at my daughter, because her, together with many women around the world and all the Winnipeg bat mitzvah girls, you guys were supposed to do your march onto the stage. We're thinking of you, and we'll meet you by the next mega challah bake. Let's take it away and do this bracha, this blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosah v'tzivanu lahafresh challah. Yizu challah.
Beautiful.
welcome back, everybody. Now it's time to braid some challah.
All right, so
1 second. You got to get this on, your
Ooh.
apron.
This is the best part.
Lucy's apron, get it on.
All right. So what you need to do now is you need to take your dough and you are going to separate it into pieces about this size. I can't give you a better description than to just show you.
Bigger than palm size?
Yeah, around palm size or a little bit bigger. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the dough and you're just going to start rolling it out. And this again is another personal preference kind of way to do things. I like to just roll mine out with my hands, and I start in the middle and I kind of move my way out, and then you can do this on the end.
So I'm just going to give a little tip. Everybody's dough probably rolls slightly differently.
Yeah.
This dough that we gave you the recipe for is supposed to be at 2 small chalot. So you can choose if you want to make 1 or 2, and you can also choose what kind of braiding you want to do. We're going to show you here a 4 braider, but there is all over the internet different videos. You can make a round challah in honor of Rosh Hashanah. I find with the dough, no matter what you do with it, you stick it in that oven, it has that beautiful shape. But the tip I wanted to give is that based on your dough, you can divide it in equal pieces, because the idea is that the strands are the same size. So if you're going to make 2 challahs, you can start by dividing your whole dough into 2, and then breaking it up into equal pieces on whatever amount of braids you plan to do.
That's a great tip.
All right.
I like it. Everybody could, at this point, preheat your ovens to 350 degrees Celsius. And no, Fahrenheit, what am I saying? Not Celsius, don't do it.
We don't need any extra heat in our homes these days.
That's going to be a lot.
We've got all the heat we need, huh?
All right, so your strands can be a little bit different. I usually end up making kind of ugly challah, I'm sorry. But
You're a connoisseur.
But I love doing it.
You know, have you gotten better over the years, or?
I mean, I don't know what the trick is. Like, I don't know whether you need to. Actually, come on, viewers out there. You guys can give us some tips here on how to make the perfect challah strands. That would be amazing, because I could sure use your expertise on this. So,
Well, I remember that story you told me about her first challah.
oh yes, that is a good one. So many moons ago, when I was first learning about being Jewish and celebrating Shabbos and all of that kind of stuff, I decided to embark on my very first challah baking experience. And I thought, you know, how hard could it be? I'll just go into the kitchen. You know, like Adina said, 7 ingredients. I mean, what could be so hard? So the problem was that Shabbos was coming and I didn't give my dough enough time to rise. And so what happened was my dough I ended up just rushing through it. I didn't give it time to rise or get a second rise, and I put it in the oven and I was like, you know what? It'll work, it'll be fine, no problem. So I ended up with a brick. And
A brick?
it was really small and kind of hard, and probably one of the densest challahs. I mean, my husband tried to chew through it.
Didn't you tell me he brought it to the local brick or some store to try to sell it as a cement block?
Yeah,
he was like, we could build
that.
houses with this.
Yes. Yeah, I need to put a patent on it, really, but I just didn't
The
do it.
challah block. I can see it now. Make your house edible. Well, it wasn't edible.
All natural
I mean, it was. It just wasn't palpable.
All right. So
Okay.
everybody is making their kind of strands.
Yeah. So then what you do is you kind of connect your challah at the top. All right. And I'm doing a 4-braid dough because this is sort of what I do every week. And so this is how I do it. So you kind of number off your challahs, like your challah pieces. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and you go 1 over 2, 3 over 1 and 2, and you kind of put it at the top here, all right? And then you go to the other side because you have to make everything even. So now this turns into 1, 2, 3, 4, and you go 1 over 2, 3 over 1 and 2, 1 over 2, 3 over 1 and 2.
So a little tip, you could actually take a little sticker
A sticker?
Just mark the numbers because I'm lost 1/2, 2/7, 17/45.
Can you repeat that?
And don't worry.
I'm lost now.
Every challah is beautiful. Monica. Oh, Monica.
1/2.
So would it look prettier if the pieces were thinner?
1/2. Yes,
So I'm looking at Mussy over here, and she's working some really tiny ones, and
What
her
am I doing here?
reputation is that she makes some pretty beautiful challahs.
So she is
I'm
the
lost
expert
now.
sixth grader.
Your reputation is you make really tasty
And-
challahs. So with that
All right.
being said, do you think
I'm
thinner?
gonna-
Rebecca, this
I'm gonna
girl
go.
learned her beautiful challah braiding techniques
I'm gonna do
from
this again.
her father,
What?
who is an amazing sixth grader.
What?
Believe it or not.
You
That's why
gotta-
you noticed I chose to take the task of keeping in touch with the public, all of you, and I do have a couple update messages. Can we pause this for a moment?
No, I'm doing it again.
Do you want
If it
this?
messes up, just start again.
Yeah.
Because yours is
I just want to, as you're continuing on here, I'm going to just catch up our
Go for it.
audience with some messages that came in.
Oh, okay, here.
So I would
Do you
like to
wanna
say
try?
out
You're the
loud,
important one. You're
there
the
was
leader.
a request for a blessing for Lara, healing bracha for the world.
Okay.
Julie, a refuah shlema for Vicky bat Aliza, a healthy pregnancy, and babies for Chofit bat Ilana. Keep the questions coming. We're able to do that live. This segment of the show is going to end shortly. So hit those chat box and let us know, how is your braiding coming along?
And speaking about braiding, we do have a really unique gift that was brought to us by Dove Bear. He donated this 2019 Pride for Two Nations. They're
Okay,
limited
there we go.
edition coins.
There-
And
like
these
the-
coins, let me show you, are both Canadian and American silver dollars, valued at over $200 Canadian. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to create a little competition because we want to see what your challahs look like. So tomorrow, tonight, the next day, before Friday afternoon-ish, if you can take a picture of yourself with your challah, send it to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Chabad-Winnipeg, and you're going to hashtag virtual challah bake. If you don't know how to spell it, it will be above us. So hashtag virtual challah bake at facebook.com/Chabad-Winnipeg, a picture of you and your challah or anyone who helped make that challah. The more unique challah, the more beautiful challah. We don't know who's going to win yet, but we want to see yours. Send us those pictures and we're going to find a winner. And the winner is going to get an American and Canadian silver dollars valued at $200.
So, excuse me, I'm sorry, that was a very important announcement. But I just noticed over here that we have a sixth braid going on. Mussy, can you tell me a little bit, talk as you're going through, because I already see the beginning of a beautiful braid.
Okay, so in the beginning, before you start anything, you just cross two over, and the one that's on top you put to the middle. Okay, then you take this side, or whichever side you do, the second one, and put it over to the, so you have two strands up. Then I guess this is the first now, to the middle, and the second from the side up to the top. And then you just keep on doing the same thing. So this side to the middle, and then this side, which is the second one from here, goes up again. This one to the middle. This one, the second one goes up again. The middle, up, the middle.
She makes this look easy.
It is. The middle, up, the middle, up. And then in the end, I'm just going to squeeze it all together and tuck it a bit under.
So just a shout out here I'd like to make to the Mama crew and the Baba crew. We had plans to get a group of 30 women in here before the Mega Challah Bake, and we were going to teach them all the tricks that they needed to know on how to braid. And they were going to be our hosts and ushers walking around the room and helping everybody. So I want to shout out to Julie for arranging that and send all my love to all those wonderful moms and babas who volunteered their time. Call up your friend and show them how to do the braiding. We hope you were able to learn it here too. All right, how's it going, Monica?
I'm almost done again. Oh, wait. Where did I go? Oh, yeah, there we go.
All right, so now what?
Okay, so what I like to do, sorry, this dough is kind of, I feel like it's a little bit over risen, and that makes it a little bit more difficult to work with. But what I like to do is I like to take the ends and I kind of fold them under a bit, and you kind of give the dough like a little bit of a shake so that it comes out with like a really nice kind of even, more of an even shape. You can kind of play with that.
All right,
So
and
our
all of
dough-
you at home, we do have these trays, so you're welcome. It actually makes a really nice loaf because it comes up on the sides. You can just take your parchment paper, put it into your aluminum pan. Oh, what happened to your 6 braid?
I rolled it up. I made it look really good.
Do you see this? She now turned this into a beautiful crown, or what is it?
I don't know. A pretty rolled up swirl challah.
A pretty rolled up swirl challah.
Hashtag.
So how do we bake this? How do we get this moving?
Okay, so you have preheated your ovens to 350. Once you've put the parchment in, you can just very gently lift your challah into there. Here is what it's going to look like, sort of, hopefully a little prettier. and then you will bake it in your oven at 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes until it's nice and golden brown on top. You can also take some egg before you put it into the oven, and you can put before, don't do it after.
We have some confusion in the order and steps of making the best challah.
That's
So
okay.
you take an egg and you just crack it on, like,
That's what I
walk
would do.
us through that, girl.
Smash it in your hand. No, you crack another egg, and you can add a little bit of water to it to kind of give it a little bit of a, I feel like it kind of loosens the egg a little bit and it just goes on a little nicer. when
I've
you do
also
that.
seen to add sometimes like a sweetness, like at that point if you want to put
Yes.
a little bit of sugar.
I put honey. If you're going to do that, I would add a little bit of honey. I also, like when I make my dough, I always add a tablespoon of honey to the dough because it just really just gives that extra yummy flavor.
Okay, so you take the egg, you put it into a cup, you beat it up. You're welcome to add in the extra sugar or
Yeah.
water.
Then I
and
take
then you
then I take my silicone
brush.
brush and I brush it on, and then voila, you've got challah. And then if you want it a little bit sweeter, then I wouldn't put the bagel stuff on. I would use just sesame seeds or poppy seeds or your favorite kind of seed, and then put it in the oven. And
How long again was it?
25 to 30 minutes until it's nice and golden on top.
Okay, now there's an important point here for the women who have our kits. So this recipe was
That was good. Good times. Oh dear. We're falling apart.
We all need
It's
to
done.
laugh. The wine is finally. So this. I was terrified of going live. I thought I would cry, but I never imagined I would laugh so much. Anyways, this recipe was made in mind to have it rise all the way home from the Mega Challah Bake event. And so it actually needs a little extra time to rise. So if you use this recipe, especially without the hot water, if you use the bottled water, it may need a little extra time to rise because we took into account the time that you guys would drive home from the event and then get it into your oven.
Yes.
We would suggest baking it tonight.
Yeah.
And then if you want to use it for Shabbat, I would stick it straight in the freezer once it cools down. And then just right before Shabbat, pop it into the oven, wrap it in aluminum foil. It's just as new. And the other thing as well is when you want to check if the dough is ready, you kind of want to tip the challah on its side and just make sure that when you tap on the bottom, my mom taught me this, when you tap on the bottom, you hear like a hollow sound because you want to make sure that the inside is not raw.
Yes.
And again, depending on your oven and your climate, it's slightly different. And depending on the size, if you made 2 challahs or 1 challah, it will really vary in terms of your timing in the oven.
Yeah.
So I have, before we close, because I think we're about to, I just have some messages. Can I update?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Here we go. Helena says, you guys are amazing hosts and make challah baking so fun and holy. I am beyond grateful. Ooh, I think we should keep going on this one. I'm beyond grateful to be with you tonight and uplifted during these trying and uncertain times. That's really beautiful. Thank you, Helena.
Oh.
We
That's
have
very sweet.
Shirley that says that her Shirley says that her rising is going well. Fabulous.
Yay.
And then we have Suchi who said, good job on the challah bake. And we have, Helena's from South Carolina. And Musi is such a beautiful light. Her smile and personality shines through. And we have some more compliments, look on the Facebook post or on the YouTubes. You'll see all those compliments. Thank you. We're gonna soak them in after over some wine.
Yeah, we sure are.
And I want to show you what your challahs will turn out to. This was specifically made by our dear, what's her name again? I still don't know her name at the closing of the event.
So
Ahava.
Ahava.
After that 20 minutes from your oven will arise, hopefully not a cover, hopefully not a Shabbat plate, but your very own. Who wants to take it off?
Special.
Who wants to do the release?
All together. This
All
is the
together!
Unity.
All right, we throw it in the air, okay?
Okay.
I wanted to get like confetti. Barry from Cherry Tree Productions, who has been doing this amazing, we had this plan that right after the bat mitzvah girls get on stage, there's these like amazing sprinklers he was gonna get for us, and there was gonna be confetti, and the whole room was gonna be amazing. So we're gonna do a little kind of imitation of that. We're gonna just throw this in the air.
Just throw it.
All right, and then
All
you'll
right.
share the closing words.
1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. So this concludes our segment of the video part of baking the challah. As your challah is now rising in the oven, we'd encourage you to stay tuned, watch some motivating and inspiring videos, and also please join Adina in the next segment as she shares more challah insight and of course Mosi for her live performance. Thank you everyone for being a part of our challah baking extravaganza and adaptation due to the coronavirus.
Stay healthy, stay strong, stay united, stay positive.
Bring Mashiach.
Right.
על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על ביתנו התינוקת, שמורי לי הטוב, על האש המבוערת, על המים הזכים, על האיש השב הביתה מן המרחקים, על כל אלה, על כל אלה, שמונה לי אלי הטוב, על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על נטע כה נטוע, אל תשכח את התקווה.
This segment of virtual challah bake. We are now bringing to you some greetings from some incredible singers that have actually personally touched my life. And which camera am I supposed to look at, ladies and gentlemen? This is just an amazing set. Okay, I hope you can see my beautiful eyes in this segment. So we're going to share with you some beautiful messages and some greetings from other people around the world. So we're going to start. I'd like to introduce a woman who actually made a profound impact in my life. And it goes back to when I was a young girl. I always loved to sing. And she was my first ever, I would say, like choir head. I later went on to actually become a choir head of my own in the schools that I grew up in. And this woman taught me to do all different kinds of harmonies. And she is now living in Eretz HaKodesh in Israel with her beautiful family. And the song that she brings to you is something that I think we'll all be able to relate to during this time. So it's just a little laughter to get this on the road, to recognize what the next couple of weeks might look like in our homes. So I'd like to introduce and welcome Mrs. Challah Felig is her maiden name. I hope she says her married name in the video because she'll always be Challah Felig to me.
Hello everyone, and warm regards from Eretz Yisrael. This is Challah, and I am so happy to share just a couple seconds with you on this beautiful occasion. Sisters around the world, Jewish women baking challah together to bring a little more light and just a little more spirituality into our homes. Again, I'm happy to be a part of it. I will also be baking this week, and I hope you enjoy my music video, Sister Sister, because that's what we are. We are sisters. Hang in there, ladies. go. It's taking over my house, taking over my stuff. It's been through my patience, cause it's never enough. Taking over my sleep, my dreams, my silly and my smart. My kids have taken over my heart. It's a constant game of cops and robbers. They steal your kisses, spend your dollars. You give, they take. Your heart they break with a smile. I'd love to know how others manage. My jeans are now my disadvantage. Surrendering is my only way out. They've taken over my house, taking over my stuff. They've been through my patience, cause it's never enough. Taking over my sleep, my dreams, my silly and my smart. My kids are part of my songs, they're the joy in my tunes. They own all my mornings, evenings and afternoons. My hopes, my dreams, my life from and to start. My kids have taken over my heart. They've taken over my house, taking over my stuff. They've been through my patience, cause it's never enough. Taking over my sleep, my dreams, my silly and my smart. My kids are part of my songs, they're the joy in my tunes. They own all my mornings, evenings and afternoons. My hopes, my dreams, my life from and to start. They've taken over my house, taken over my stuff. They've been through my patience till I can't get enough. Taking over my sleep, my dreams, my silly and my smart. My kids are part of my song, they're the joy in my tunes. They own all my mornings, evenings and afternoons. My hopes, my dreams, my life from and to start. My kids have taken over my heart.
All right. So I hope that gave you a little laugh. That was Challah Kit. And next in the queue here, my daughter's going to make fun of me because she knows that this is true. There has been a newfound singer that I just recently found in this last year. And she has helped me get through some very tricky times. She speaks for herself. You'll see in her videos that she does. But over the last year, I had her in my ears and on my phone and anywhere I went to be able to give me some inspiration. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman. Her name is Challah Kit. She also lives in Eretz Yisrael in Israel, and she's going to share one of my favorite songs with you. Now, when you watch the song, it's actually all a cappella, which is really cool. She's making all the sounds and bringing the special presentation to all of us here tonight. All right, take it away, Challah.
Hello, women of Winnipeg and women worldwide. This is Challah Kit here from Israel. This mitzvah that you are doing now, Hafrashas Challah, is a special mitzvah for women. This is a special time for you, where you can ask Hashem for whatever you want. The heavens are open for your prayers, for your davening. And when so many women come together in unity in this mitzvah, it is even more powerful. So let's together beg Hashem to bring healing and change to the world at this difficult time. Don't forget, this is your time.
Looking through a crack in the glass, it's hard to see how you're gonna shake off the dust, ever break free. You see them reaching for the stars, but you're too slow. Little do you see it, little do you know. Wishing you can fly, but it's clear you're stuck in a place. And never gonna make it to the front, just can't keep pace. You hear them calling your name, but you can't go. Little do you see it, little do you know. This is your time, so go and grab the moment, face the world and show it. Oh, this is your time to show the world the glory, celebrate your story. This is your time.
So I hope you enjoyed that song as much as I did. We are getting towards the end of our program. Hopefully you're starting to smell that delicious challah in your oven. Pay attention to your senses. If you smell something burning, go ahead, check on the dough. Use your superpowers to be able to check in and see. Our last formal singer that will be joining us tonight is a woman who sings a very powerful song. All my sisters in Winnipeg, you guys know her. She actually performed by our first challah bake 2 years ago here in Chabad. And she is coming to remind us how important it is to make little exciting, little steps in life. And for those of you who stay on after her, we'll give you guys a sneak preview into a rehearsal practice of Musi's new song. We're going to do our best to try to get it. We haven't yet actually recorded it properly, but if you stay till the end, you'll be able to get that. I'd like to end by thanking each and every single one of you for joining us. I have seen that we have reached, between the YouTube channel and the Facebook feeds, we have reached a whopping 5,000 women across the globe. And this piece is going to keep on going and going and going. You can pass it on to your friends, spread the warmth. We hope that each and every one of you gained a little something that can help you during this trying time. We have each other. We got the technology to help us connect and to keep connected. Enjoy this last superheroes, because each and every single one of you sisters, you guys are a superhero.
Since I was young, I dreamt of changing the world. It's absurd, they would say, just a little girl. Forget your childish dreams, you cannot be a superhero. Grow up and live your life, walk away. They keep telling me I cannot change the world, but in my heart I know I'm not just a little girl, 'cause I feel this power invested in my soul, and I know that I can be a superhero. never change the world. That's me. The rest will follow naturally. Oh, I'm a powerful little girl, and I can change the world. So here I am, longing to be strong. If I can save myself, I have saved it all. No matter what they see, this is the reality. Oh, I'm a superhero, and I can change the world by changing myself. No more telling me I cannot change the world. 'Cause in my heart I know I'm not just a little girl. 'Cause I feel this power invested in my soul. And I know that I am a
Okay, that was funny, huh? We just got some good laughs in, and now for the really last segment of our night, we are going to invite you in for a sneak preview of the first ever time that Musi is going to debut this song. You guys got to hear the words before. I may join in if it sounds exciting.
You're joining in.
You'd like me to sing?
Yes.
I guess I'm joining in, so you guys are in for like a super duper real treat. Hopefully by now your challahs are popping out of the oven, your glasses are empty, excuse me, and you're ready to laugh a little. I mean, to enjoy this beautiful moment of, sorry, you're beautiful. All right, thank you for joining in with me. And what is this song called? Can we stand?
Yeah, okay.
Can you see us?
It's called Stand Strong.
Okay, but I need to see the words if you want me to.
And actually, Challah Kit, one of the singers, the one that did a cappella, I got the tune from her. So I did a song according to that tune.
I'm going to sing the whole thing, or will I mess it up if I sing with you? Just sing the whole thing. Why don't I just sing if you go off?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to
But
pipe
also
in.
with me.
I may confuse you.
For the chorus.
I don't really know it so well. Okay, let's go. Here we go.
No, just be quiet this part to this part.
Be quiet this part to this part? All right, here we go.
Sat depressed, trapped in her own house. She had the coronavirus, that tears fell on her blouse. Sarah was alone, she felt no one was by her side.
Ooh, what could she do? She doesn't want to hide.
You've got two choices here, one to cry and one to cheer. Take advantage, do not fear, do God's words, each with care.
When it's
In the night as light,
optimism will win this fight.
redemption will come
Pain and death will be done.
because we chose to unite.
Redemption will come. Deep inside is standing strong. God's hand will bring us all. God will
love and happiness.
God gave this commandment specifically to us.
And at the age of 12, bat mitzvah,
You passed it on to us. You've got two choices here, one to cry and one to cheer. Take advantage, do not fear, do God's words, each with care. Start in the night and light. Optimism will win this fight. Redemption will come, pain and death will be done. Because we chose to unite. Redemption will come. Deep inside we're standing strong. God's hand will bring us all to a world of peace and calm.
We have a break.
I think you're doing amazing. I'm here.
Sarah decided, because she was 12, she would do her best to spread light on the internet. She showed the world how she still had might, even though she was stuck at home. This year is gonna be better than uniting and inspiring others to clone. Night and light. Optimism will win this fight. Redemption will come, pain and death will be done. Because we chose to unite. Let's stand strong.
Stay tuned for the real debut once we get some more practice in. This was all made on short notice. Once again, thank you all for joining us.
I made it up yesterday.
She made it up yesterday, and we are going to go have a challah and hummus party. Have a wonderful night.
Is it warm? The call.